Hello and welcome to Gapeys Grub. Today we're going to be making chipotle peppers, which are essentially red ripe jalapenos that are smoked. Then we're going to be dehydrating those to preserve them. So I've got, I think, 5 different jalapeno varieties that I grew this year, and I've already made a batch of cowboy candy with the green unripe ones. And now we're going to use the red ripe ones for the chipotles. So it's probably going to be difficult to do this if you use store-bought jalapenos because typically they don't sell the red ripe ones. So you'll want to maybe find them at a farmer's market or just grow them yourself. So let's go ahead and get harvesting. Here's a look at the jalapenos we're going to be harvesting. We've got the Zapotec here. This is probably the spiciest of the jalapenos that I grew, but it is really good. It's also took a little bit longer to ripen than some of the other varieties, so we still have a lot of green ones left on this plant. Probably the most productive of the jalapenos I grew this year is the jalapeno. However, the peppers are also a lot smaller than the other varieties I grew this year. So these ones are pretty tiny. There's some larger ones, but they seem to be pretty quick to ripen. This variety has absolutely no heat at all. I've got 2 of these Tam jalapeno plants, and they were actually pretty productive too, and got pretty big peppers. We've got a few ripe ones down there. And this is also a mild variety. It does have some heat, but very little. And the last one we're going to be harvesting from is called Farmer's Market Jalapeno. And this one was the least productive, but the peppers are the largest. So this one here isn't all that big, but we did get some pretty large ones here. There's a lot of them that are still green. And this variety has a lot of corking, and the riper they get, the more corking they get. I do have one more variety called Digetto, but I think I'm going to save these ones for stuffing. So these are really big, fat ones that are perfect for stuffing. All right, we got all of our ripe jalapenos picked, and we ended up filling our basket here. So it looks like we've got probably around 2 pounds of jalapenos. Before we smoke our peppers, we're gonna remove the stems, and then we're also going to just kind of give it a slice and look inside, make sure there's no rotten bits in there. You can remove the seeds if you want, but you don't have to. Obviously remove them if you see any black or brown seeds, and that will also allow more smoke to get on the inside. So we're just going to go ahead and do that with all of our peppers. Here's a good example of a pepper that's got some bad seeds on the inside. You can see those are all brown and black and yucky. So this is a pretty small pepper. I think I'm just going to end up tossing this one out. When I smoke peppers, I like to line these grates here with a layer of aluminum foil, and then I cut some slits in between there, and this just helps so that the peppers don't fall through these grates. They will shrink a little bit after they've been smoked. So we've got our first tray. I think we're going to end up with 2 trays of these peppers to go into the smoker. I'm going to be using our Masterbuilt smoker. We've got the cold smoke attachment here, and this is really handy because you can put quite a few wood chips in this smoker and let it smoke for quite a while, and you can smoke at really low temperatures. But we're going to be using pecan wood chips. This is the traditional type of wood used for making chipotle, but you can definitely use whichever wood chips you have on hand, but I bought those specifically for making these. So let's go ahead and get these guys in. I've got the smoker set to 200 degrees, and we are going to smoke these for 2 to 3 hours. Should be good. Since I've got the smoker going, I might as well put in a tray of paprikas. I didn't line this one with foil because these peppers are huge and I don't think they're going to fall. It's time to get our chilies out. They've been going for about 2.5 hours. The one on the bottom is looking quite toasty, so I'm going to take these out. This tray here is still looking pretty good. I think it might be best to check on them every so often and maybe rotate the shelves around so the bottom doesn't get too overdone. So I'm going to leave the other ones in there for a little while longer. Here's a closer look at the tray that was on the bottom. See, a few of those got maybe a little bit overdone. Now to preserve these, I'm going to be putting these in the dehydrator, and I like to set my dehydrator to about 125 degrees when I'm dehydrating peppers. And that should take, I don't know, 12 to 24 hours, but we're going to let those go overnight and we'll see how they look in the morning. I checked on the dehydrator this morning when I got up, and this is the first tray that we put in after it was smoked. These are the ones that got a little over smoked actually. So they're nice and dry and ready to get stored. So we're going to put these into a Ziploc bag. And the other tray that we put into the dehydrator, that one is still a little bit soft, so it's going to get dehydrated for a few more hours. Here is a look at the second tray that I just pulled out of the dehydrator. These ones look much better, a lot less toasty. So these ones took about an extra 6 hours of dehydrating time compared to the ones before. So I'm going to get these put into the baggie and we should be good to go to use these for all kinds of tasty dishes. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.